today we're going to be working on a Toyota 4Runner 2005 two-wheel drive V6. Not long ago I replaced the oxygen sensor on bank 1, which is the passenger side, and I knew that more than likely the bank 2, which would be the driver's side, would probably also go out. So it did. It gave me an error code of P0430. So let's take a look at how to identify it and how to replace that sensor, So the car, the 4Runner got the check engine light on. So we're going to read the code, start the engine. We plug our handy dandy machine, and it's right above the parking brake. We got it plugged in, and now we're going to read the code. So we got one code found. We're going to read the codes. We're going to see what codes are stored. And it's a P0430. That is a catalyst system efficiency below threshold, bank 2. Alright, so we open the hood just to appreciate where the sensor's at and how the error codes are labeled. So the P0430 bank 2 is on the driver's side. How do I know that bank 2 goes to the driver's side? Because the error codes are label based in accordance to the spark plugs of the cylinders. In this particular car, this is a 6-cylinder, it's a V6. So spark plug 1 is here. So this is 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4, 5, and 6. So because this is an error that says bank 2, it corresponds to the cylinder 2, which is the driver's side. Okay, so this particular car has really 2 oxygen sensors and 2 air and fuel sensors that are part of the same system. One that goes before the catalytic converter and one that goes after. The one that goes after is also called the downstream oxygen sensor. That's the one we're going to be replacing today. So I got a question on how do I find those, because usually you find me under the car. So the oxygen sensors, you can see them pretty much right behind the tire, underneath the frame. The downstream oxygen sensor, you can actually replace it without taking the tire. And the upstream or air fuel sensor, you have to take the tire off and just remove some of those covers there. Alright, so if you're going under the car, you'll go right behind the front tire. And when you go inside, you'll see the catalytic converter right here. And this will be the downstream oxygen sensor. That's the one that we're gonna have to replace. It's all mucky and gross and rusted out. So that guy right there. So we're gonna try to find this a good angle. We're gonna try to spray it with some oil, some penetrating oil, and then we'll replace it. All right, so this is a little bit better angle. This is the connector of the oxygen sensor. The oxygen sensor connector can only go inserted one way. And right here there's a detent. So the way to get this thing out is to push this detent with a small flathead screwdriver like that. And then the connector comes off. Pretty easy. You can only go in one way. So step 1 done. Alright, so now that we got this connector out of there, the one thing that we got left is to unscrew the oxygen sensor, and that is pretty hard because this thing is in there tight, boy. So we're going to try to spray a fair amount of impregnated oil so that it can get in between the threads and make it a little bit easier to get out. Yeah, we sprayed a pretty liberal amount. I'm gonna let it sit there for like 30 minutes to an hour and let it work, and then we'll try to unscrew it. Hopefully it'll come out. Alright, so we let the penetrating oil kind of sit there for about an hour or so. Now what we're going to use a 7/8. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a 7/8 inch wrench. You can also use one of these guys. They're kind of designed, they're 22 millimeter, which is the equivalent. They're designed to take oxygen sensors. Yeah, they're really fancy or good, but the 7/8 is a pretty good match. So we're going to try to use the 7/8 inch wrench on this, and lefty loosey, righty tighty. I kind of already gotten it loose a little bit, and he wasn't quite as bad. I think the penetrating oil did the trick. So I am going to try to remove it. Good night. This was something else. This was super tight. So if you can see, I was doing a back and forth motion, and finally we got the sensor out. So let's inspect the threads, and you can tell that there's some damage in there on the threads, so that we're going to try to clean them and be super careful. Old sensor out. Okay, so once we got the old sensor out, this guy, you know, we find that the threads can have some damage. So the new sensor came with this little Denso grease. It's a high temperature sealing grease. So we're going to use that and put on a Q-tip and try to clean the threads a little bit, lubricate them, so that the new sensor can try to go back in smooth, or as smooth as we can make it. So this is the new sensor, and we're going to try to put it abundantly around this threads, because those threads were kind of messed up. Okay. So we got it tight enough. Now we're going to plug it in. Now, if we remember, this guy right here has got a detent on the other side of the connector, and this connector right here has a detent right here, and a slide and a guide on the other side. So this is how this thing is supposed to go. You hear the click, and we are set. So there we go. That's how you replace the oxygen sensor. It was super hard to take it out, but let's start the engine and give it a go and see how it does. Okay, so we replaced the sensor. We started the engine. Everything seems to be okay. And now we look inside of the car, and the alarm of the check engine light is off. So I don't want to claim victory here, but it looks like the sensor took. So, all right, very good. Hopefully this video helps you guys, and keep on watching.